It is day 2 here at the Cambia Portland Classic, longtime event on the LPGA Tour, and once again at Columbia Edgewater Country Club. Beautiful day once again. Yesterday it reached the mid-70s. Today, the only difference, a little more of a breeze, so that has picked up in the last 15 or 20 minutes. It is a factor, not a huge factor, but good scores after the great scores yesterday. Megan Kang today, 7 under 65, so a one-shot lead for the player who has, in her last 6 starts, missed 4 cuts. So it really turned it around, found something here this week. Alex out there playing. We'll follow her second round. Suo playing great once again. Top 4 finish last week in Canada. Tall sequoias and evergreens around this golf course, framing every one of these fairways. Just a beautiful setting here in the Pacific Northwest. Terry Gannon, along with the Hall of Famer Judy Rankin, with you. Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, Kate Cockrell, as we send it out to the green at 13. And Tom.
And this is Marina Alex, the overnight leader. Has this for a birdie, Kate?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how she follows up that amazing round of 62 that she shot yesterday, her personal best score. This for her first birdie today.
Okay. Started her round from the 10th, 3 straight pars, and then that birdie there at the 13th. So Marina Alex ties the lead of Megan Kang, who was rounding 7 under today. Let's go over to the other side of the golf course to the 5th, and Minjee Lee for an eagle. Jerry Foltz is with this group.
1 over early in this round, but able to get home in 2 upwind on the second shot. Beautiful shot that it was, and well, should be 2 easy putts here for birdie, Tom.
Greens are quick, and you can see how fast that was, just rolling out all the way to the hole, and it looked like it might be quite a bit short. Let's go up 1 hole to the 6th.
Winner of the Ricoh Women's British Open, Georgia Hall, 24th on the list. The race to the CME.
Comes off birdie at the 5th.
Did sit eventually to 5.
Amy Yang for birdie. Confidence pretty high. Played well over the last couple of weeks. Didn't get off to a good start today. Double bogey at the first, and she's at 1 under, hovering around the cut line. Current cut is 2 under par. It's been going back and forth between 2 under and 1 under throughout the day. Now Minjee for her birdie.
She did something a little bit different this week. Everybody's been working pretty hard. It's a little deeper into the year. She did not touch a club on Tuesday.
Go to the 14th.
Trina Matthew, a moment ago, just off with the putter, her 3rd.
Well, it took a big bounce, but still got to the hole. So often when you see the ball bounce like that, it always comes up short.
Veteran from Scotland, at a home right there, North Berwick, right along the 18th hole. So that was a short time ago, and now the Hall of Fame member Julie Inkster taking a look from just off.
I think we all admire, and some of us are a little envious of her strong desire to still work at the game and still play competitively. Oh, it was trying to turn.
It's absolutely honest and authentic. I mean, she just loves to play, loves to compete. It's there last week in Regina. 2 under, even par for the day. And not very happy to 5.
This is Brittany Altomare. Her second shot at the par 5. Brittany heading to Evian in a couple of weeks, where she almost pulled off one of the biggest upsets of the decade by winning a major championship. Lost in a playoff to Anna Norquist as the hail rained down on the 18th green. It was a pretty remarkable scene.
Just as winter came in.
Yeah, winter wasn't coming. It had arrived. Pernilla Lindbergh, winner of the first major of the season. putts were going in the desert when she won the ANA. That was some scene, remembering back. I mean, I don't know how they played it all during that. They had to
at
wait
Evian.
to actually clear the green of all the hail.
Oh my gosh, it was, were they not on a hole that seemed as though it would end the championship? There's no way play would have continued.
Yeah.
It was impossible.
Cold.
This is a 9th hole. This is Karen Stupples, obviously back inside the ropes playing this week for the first time since 2016. And the 9th hole playing as the hardest hole today. Only 7 birdies, but Karen has given herself a chance to make a 3 here. Good round yesterday, 71. Did a little bit of practice last week back home in Florida. And just excited to be here playing on a sponsor's invite.
I think we should point out, though, that the golf in 2016 was very limited, only played once or twice competitively. So she's been out of full-time competition for some years. And the round of 71 yesterday was extremely impressive.
Struggled a bit today. A couple of bogeys and a double. A chance to get one shot back here.
Not a lot of players who have been away from playing and completely immersed in another job can come out and try it. But Karen still has a lot of length off the tee.
Oh yeah, good birdie. A few more of those on the front 9 and she may well be around for the weekend. That's one of her big goals, is to try and play all 4 rounds here. Yeah, there we go, playing to the camera, a little more comfortable in front of the camera now that she's been working with us at Golf Channel for a number of years.
Well, she works with and knows all the camera people out there.
Yes, that's
so
also very true.
Georgia Hall just off the green here. Good read, good execution. Tough to back that up, all the emotion and what that meant, that win at the Rico Women's British Open.
Yeah, Canada last week was her first start since then, but I think she's got her feet under her now and back into the mode of concentrating and trying to win a golf tournament.
Both players looking at their yardage books right now at 14.
Yeah, it's a toss-up.
Yeah, okay. So 118 working number, let it release 8, and then another 10 to that, but that's fine. I don't think the wind will really touch you here. Right? Okay. So 118, playing 118 conditions, now do you think this will fly again?
I don't think it'll fly. No flyer out of here, no.
Okay, that's fine.
It's more just in that pitch of the 50 we hit. Stop. We released, what, 5 yards?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the 118 number is bad. That's what we're going for. Okay. Finish a little left if you can, correct? Yeah.
Not a difficult hole location from that angle.
No, in fact, quite good. And I think her concern here, obviously, is this going to jump a little bit out of this first cut or not? With just this yardage and a wedge in her hand, would love to get this one inside 10 feet.
Hit the bounce. Smart shot.
Yeah, good shot.
Yeah, good shot. The sound was really crisp, and it's always magnified when you're playing on a tree-lined golf course.
Well, speaking of tree-lined golf course, I mean, these shots right here give you all you need to know about Columbia Edgewater. I mean, just look at this, how this is framed. You got the tree on the right. Got to think about it. And off the tee, you got to think about where in the fairway you'd like to be with the whole location.
Terry, it's such a visually stimulating golf course. I think if you polled, every single player would tell you they love to play this golf course. It's just genuinely fun golf course to try to tackle. Marina trying to let that drift in a little from left to right.
This is as pretty as a golf course can be when you take in the fact that it is not oceanside and there are no mountains.
Yeah. Mount Hood you can't see right now, the clouds, and the river's across the street, so we're not right on it. Amy Yang, 136 here a second.
Good tee shot. Talked to one of the members here who said he's coming out to watch Amy Yang and only Amy Yang today, Judy. He said watching her swing has helped him so much in his play. Although he would have wanted to hit a better shot than that. Good bounce, though. Just that tempo is so good to emulate, isn't it?
I've tried to imagine and emulate Lydia Ko, but Amy Yang is is the same kind of beautiful motion.
24-year-old rookie Emma Talley for a birdie at the 7th. Some good results this year. 3 top 5 finishes for Talley as we go back to 6.
How about Minjee Lee now, Jerry?
135, first cutter rough, 9 iron, breeze in from the right, and the hole today placed on the back fringe. Literally, it's about 2.5 steps from the back edge of the green. She got it all the way back there.
So she's on the back fringe and she's very close to the hole.
Yeah, she is.
Usually those two things don't go together, but they do here. High sunshine here. Some clouds, but just a beautiful Friday in Portland for the second round of the Columbia Portland Classic.
Then we head out to the 13th. This is Laurie Kane for a birdie. Spoke to Laurie last night, having dinner in the same restaurant. And she's just been a little frustrated with her golf because she wants to be playing a bit better and keep herself in that competitive spirit. Hey, well done, Laurie. Before the Senior LPGA Championship, which is taking place at French Lick this year. She really wants to be competitive for that in October. Trina Matthew at the 15th.
Yeah, Laurie plays that event. She was in the USGA Senior Women's Open, and she plays regularly as much as possible on the Legends Tour. So there's starting to be more opportunity for players who are not playing this tour any longer.
Emma Talley off the tee at the 8th, 140, this par 3. And that close.
Just couldn't get it online, Terry.
Didn't read it well.
Pretty shot.
Beautiful. Wei-Ling Shi, part of this group here, got the putter from off the green in the shadows.
And because these closely mown areas, Terry, are so tight and so beautifully maintained, you can putt from several yards off these greens, which is a nice option. Wei-Ling drove it left into the trees, punched through to this point, trying to get this third shot as close as she can, and really misjudged the speed there.
Tie at the top. Megan Kang, the 65 earlier today. Marina Alex out there playing this afternoon in our window. And then back to Brooke Henderson, 1 under. So didn't have the same firepower and sparks to this round as she did yesterday, but hung in there under par after a round of 8 under.
Yeah, now I'm thinking she played early today. She will not play early tomorrow. Maybe this is the little rest period that she needs.
In between today and tomorrow. Yeah, got some time. Amy Yang for birdie.
A little bit up the hill, looking well outside the right edge of the hole, just to get it back to even par on the round. And I think this breeze is definitely going to affect the afternoon scores. Just tougher to get it close right now.
Got some speed in these greens as well. 14. Marina Alex for birdie.
This for her second birdie in a row. Tough little putt to read. Little mini double breaker.
That do anything?
It kind of was, I think, a little left to right, then right to left. That putter was hot for her yesterday. Took only 21 putts en route to her 66 or 62.
Career low with the 62 yesterday and tied the tournament record 4 times now. We've seen 62s in this event. All right, back to 6 and taking a close look is Minjee Lee for birdie.
Yeah, and you have to be pretty precise here because this is so very, very fast. It's going to be moving about as fast as a curling stone down that slope.
That was last week, Jer.
Oh, I love that sport. got completely addicted during the Olympics.
Did you?
Set my alarm for the championship around middle of the night. The Americans made us all proud, but it just was so much fun to watch. You can't leave that short. That's impossible.
Wow. Have you tried it, by the way, curling?
I have, and I look like a Kentucky Fried Idiot. It's really hard.
You're supposed to.
Yeah.
It is fun. We've done it.
Good sweeping, though.
Were
Really
you a
good
sweeper?
Yeah. Well, just out of necessity.
Lack of talent elsewhere.
We had a very talented curler on the LPGA Tour in Maria Hjorth. But she is now raising her family.
Lincecum for birdie from the edge.
Turning a little right.
Yeah, good putt. By the way, here's a question for you. What is the source of all curling stones?
I know this, the Ailsa Craig.
You got it.
I got it.
Nice.
I got it. It's
off the coast of Turnberry.
yes.
So Lincecum at 5 under.
Inkster for birdie.
Tom, you have a comment about the Ailsa Craig?
It's just an amazing sight, isn't it, when you're playing golf there on the Ayrshire coast. They've done some renovations to the golf course, which I understand have been successful. I haven't had a chance to head over and play there myself. Maybe one day.
If you can't see it, it's raining. If you can see it, it's going to rain. It's about to rain. Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Tally, yeah, little tap in. That's it for birdie at the par 3.
So Terry, if curling got more popular, would the Ailsa Craig then slowly disappear?
It's only so big. You're right. I don't know.
Inji Chan at the 7th. Oh, just that little bit of grab. Didn't need it. It might run back a bit there, but just going to hold on the front.
Boy, I thought that was a better shot than it turned out.
Inji was locked in a battle last year with Stacey Lewis. Stacey ended up prevailing, of course. Donated her entire winner's check to the hurricane relief efforts in Houston.
And Stacey Lewis's caddy this week.
Caddying for Marina Alex.
Going for back-to-back wins here.
And that was Katrina Matthew just rolling that one in. She will.
Trivia question, gentlemen.
Go on.
What do Katrina Matthew and Inbee Park have in common?
Do they both have a dog?
Named?
Rio.
Rio.
There we go.
go.
Both have a dog. That's a pretty.
Well, no, I was
That was
thinking
a
of the
broad
name. I was
answer.
thinking about the name.
Yes, they both have a dog named Rio after the trip to the Olympics.
Now, Pernilla. That one's trying to release up the hill, but not a bad shot.
So Yun Yu here at 8 for birdie. Number 3 player in the Rolex rankings.
A little bit long on the short par 3.
So Yun also top 10, number 7 on the CME Globe race list. So well positioned there. Would love to get into the top 5 before that tournament in November in Naples and be able to win the whole thing.
Georgia Hall seemed to catch that one pretty well. Lovely shot from Georgia Hall. And that will be just a tap in.
Yeah, the others played from slightly short. Georgia was all the way up to hole high.
In the running for the Rolex Arnica Major Award, which is growing every year in its importance. There'll be a lovely ceremony taking place on Saturday in Evian, where we'll honor the major winners and look ahead to that award being given out after the final round on Sunday in the French Alps. Georgia, of course, will take the stage at the 9th. Maria Torres. And that's a really nice touch there from Maria. Just needs to sit down those greens very fast. impressive last week in Canada. It's been a really nice season for Maria Torres. As we go back to the 7th and Inji Chun. Needs this and probably another birdie. Come the end of the round, still got a ways to go. Just moves away to the left there at the end. Nicknamed Dumbo for the fact that she has many curiosities, so she says. And she certainly would have come here with a lot of confidence in the way she played last year, but at the moment she may well be heading home early, back to Orlando and then over to Evian.
Yeah, interesting, because her coach is here this week, her coach and mentor, Juan Park.
Now, Pernilla Lindberg. Let's get to 2 under par. Been a little disappointed with the way that she's played since the win at ANA. I expected her to challenge a little more at the top of leaderboards, and it hasn't really happened over the last several months.
I think she expected that too, don't you, Tom? And she's kind of put some pressure on herself because it hasn't materialized. Good putt.
That'll work. Those were about the length that she was holding coming down the stretch at Mission Hills, Rancho Mirage. Go over to the 15th, second shot for Ryan O'Toole.
Yeah, hidden from the back to this back sort of right hole location. Well, at least it looks back right, and oh, that was a poor result, ending up in the front right bunker.
Oh, did you catch that one heavy?
Yeah, maybe towed it a little.
Now Minji Lee at the 7th.
Into a pretty strong breeze from this rough. She did wait for the green to clear because she's only 219 yards to the hole. 208 to the front. Might be doable.
Easiest green to hit on the golf course. 96.5% of the field have found this green in regulation.
Well, that's a pretty short par 5. You would hope so.
And she should have no problem finding the green in regulation. Try and get that one close. And Minji 3 shots back at the moment here. Back over to the 15th, Marina Alex, a little closer off the tee.
Could not place it any better, Tom. Long and straight. She had a 3-wood off the tee, and it's left her with just a perfect 9-iron. Wind helping and a little left to right.
Green runs a little bit diagonally. It is short at the left front and longer at the back right.
Well, it's given herself a chance for birdie.
Up my face. Hi.
Continues to be tied for the lead here in the second round of the Cambia Portland Classic, along with Megan Kang, who was rounded 65 earlier today. Brooke Henderson, the winner last week, round of 71. Sue O also in the hunt for the weekend here as we go to the tee at the 8th.
Georgia Hall at 10 under and just 1 off the lead. Seeing some really good shots here at this hole.
Yeah, I think 8-iron's a club of choice, but if you're a little bit stronger, you'll see some 9-irons here today.
Maria Torres now for par. We saw the chip shot from behind the green. And that's a good save. Keeps her at 3 under par. 9 holes to play. If she can stay there, she'll be in for the weekend, but doesn't want to make any mistakes. Back to 8.
Lindbergh. Right on the cut line. That wind, which seemed to have picked up just as we came on, kind of settled in a little bit. Not as much of a factor at the moment. 15.
That's where Ryan O'Toole finished up. And a pretty straightforward shot, Kay, or not?
It is. Yeah, the ball's sitting well in the bunker. A little bit of an uphill lie. Plenty of green to work with. She can go ahead and just, she might even take more like a regular sand wedge instead of her lob wedge and just ensure that it gets back there. Oh, that got back there.
Not her best. She will have that to save par at 15. As we take a quick check of the leaderboard there with Megan Kang and Marina Alex tied for the lead. Georgia Hall out on the golf course, as is Minjee Lee. And we'll go over to the front 9 to number 6.
J. Marie Green in the fairway for her second at 4 under right now.
Very lofted club in her hand, 379-yard par 4, some kind of wedge, I believe.
The applause warranted. Good chance at birdie there. Up 1 to 7.
Amy Yang, third shot.
Yeah, had a chance to get home in 2, but had an awkward lie and just played for position on a layup shot there to leave herself that pitch. Nicely done, but like we've seen so often, just runs out that extra foot or 2.
Wailing Shi for a birdie at the 15th.
Going to be a part of Team Chinese Taipei at the UL International Crown coming up next month. She'll be on that team for the first time. Very excited about it.
Oh, I'm sure. It really is an incredible week. And we will be at the Jack Nicklaus Golf Club, Songdo, near the airport at Incheon, about an hour from Seoul. Played the President's Cup there a few years ago.
Okay. Square.
Lincecum now, third shot.
She too had a very good chance to get home in 2 and an equally awkward downhill side hill lie and left it here. To get this close, she has to risk being one of those 4% to miss the green. Yeah, downhill lie from there. Nearly impossible to get close.
Still going to be on the green. Tough to miss it. Now Ryan O'Toole for a par at the 15th.
Marina Alex, I'm sure, is going to be watching this putt closely. Her birdie putt is very close to Ryan.
Steady on.
And she did look to see what it did, you know, at least in the last 4 or 5 feet.
Okay, she'd made that putt if she hadn't hit it so firmly.
Yep.
Minjee's third at the 7th.
Great shot.
Ooh, different route there.
See what you can do, bud.
Just didn't have a lot of green to work with, according to the caddy. And now Marina Alex. Let's see if she learned anything.
Well, she's a Vanderbilt grad. She's got to be a good student, right?
Yeah, I suppose you do have to be a pretty good student.
Well, and the thing is, what she did, she probably read the putt first, then looked at Ryan's and sort of read her putt as well, and then we'll figure off of what Ryan did, what she needs to adjust. And one thing would be speed, obviously.
Along with Jackie Concolino, Vanderbilt grads.
And Marina and Jackie Concolino, along with a few other players, were at a special Solheim Cup dinner with Captain Julie Inkster and Pat Hurst and Nancy Lopez at the beginning of the week. Emma Talley was there, Allie McDonald, a few of the prospective Solheim Cup young players.
Yeah, just about a year away from Glen Eagles. Here's a trivia question for you, Judy.
Uh-oh.
What other figure, non-player, involved with the LPGA It went to Vanderbilt.
I don't know.
Dinah Shore.
Oh my gosh. Our dear friend, long since gone. I did not realize that, or I had forgotten it.
Back to the 7th. Long birdie putt for Brittany Lincecum.
Yeah, it would be an unlikely one at that. In her mind, just trying to get dead weight on this. Make for a stress-free par. Bogeyed the first par 5 of this 9 by hitting her tee shot in the water.
Yeah, the minute it gets to the hole, it runs right away from the player in that direction, so a little scary. She sure didn't back off, though.
Thought it was impressive what she was able to do at the Barbasol Championship, holding her own on the PGA Tour. Shot under par in the 2nd round. Maybe she will have another crack at the PGA Tour next year. Has a great association with Barbasol and Pure Silk. Tom Murray, CEO, a great supporter of the LPGA. He might actually be the president, Tom. I think he's the top man.
Let's just go with owner.
Owner.
Yeah.
The boss. How about that?
And the most benevolent boss anybody could ever work for. This pretty slippery. Probably got a little bit of a teach, did Minjee, from Brittany Lincecum's putt.
Let's run on as well.
I think that was a pretty big misread because she thought that ball was going to go back to the left. It did not, and I never saw that.
Georgia Hall, we saw the tee shot. This to get it to 11 under, share the lead. Sound effect from the gallery tells it all. Good round going, though. 4 birdies, no bogeys on this opening 9.
At the 7th, Amy Yang for birdie.
See if she, taking her conservative route, can be the only one to get past this, easiest hole on the course with a 4.
Lovely putting stroke. You just wonder why she hasn't won more. 3 wins on the LPGA Tour. And with a swing like that and a game like that, you think it would be many more.
Yeah, she gets there a lot and then doesn't close the deal or doesn't stay in the mix in the final round. And we talked last week, you just have to keep knocking on the door.
Good for Green here at 6. 5 under. So you got that cushion, at least with the cut line, and 6 off the lead at the moment. A lot of golf still to be played today. All right, Waylon Shih on the tee here at 16.
She's going to be the guinea pig here with a 5-iron. Goal is to just land us like 166. Very aggressive line.
That's a really good shot.
Beautiful shot. We end up seeing, Judy, a lot more bogeys than birdies on this hole.
Yeah, this hole location now will test you, and if you get a little bit too aggressive and carry the ball all the way to the hole, chances are you will not stop it.
Brittany Lincecum for par at 7.
A little bit of work here. Oh, that's rude.
Now that's really costly as well. With the way that she hits a golf ball to drop a shot on a short par 5 like that. It's only 463 yards on the card. And 636 over those last 3 holes. Let's go to the tee at the 16th.
Marina Alex now.
Going with the same club that Wei-Ling did, 5-iron. And another good line. I don't know if that quite got up there.
Yeah, it hit short and hit very soft, so she's got a lengthy birdie putt.
A little tough to judge, isn't it? Whether it's going to release or not. And another yard or two, and that's going to release all the way back.
Second half of the green is a little bit scary.
Hall had a chance to share the lead. Missed that putt at 8 a moment ago. Chasing Kang and Alex at the top. Right out to the 16th tee. Ryan O'Toole taking a look right in front of the oatmeal sign, which is very popular here.
We know Judy loves it.
I know.
I love that oatmeal.
Every day you've been talking about it. Start your day right, Jude.
Yes.
That's why you stay so young, Judy.
Oh, I better start eating more of it.
Oh, that was a 6-iron for Ryan. She's quite a long ball striker.
And it's just working its way to the back fringe. It is really tough at the back portion of the 16th green.
Par 3, 8th, Amy Yang, Jerry.
Breeze helping a little from the left. Going with 9-iron. That's well right of the hole, but a good, safe, smart shot on this little dinky par 3 that we've seen players really have trouble with in years past.
But Jerry, it hasn't had the treacherous hole location close to the right side yet this week.
It will be there most likely Sunday afternoon. Rumor has it from some of the members and the director of golf here, Brian Tunstall, that some guests have actually thrown putters in the lake after missing putts on this hole. That's that close to it, Judy. Not sure about that validity.
Did they talk about anyone who went in after it after the fact?
No, as a matter of fact, they did once post a video of the assistant fishing for putters. They missed, though. Catch and release, I guess. 9-iron for Minjee, I'm told. Ooh, nice little draw, holding it up against the breeze.
Yeah, good one.
11 under. The lead here on day 2. Megan Kang's day is done. Good one for her, 65. Alex out there playing the front 9. Georgia Hall had a chance a moment ago to get it to 11, but she is 1 off the lead. Minjee Lee, a share of 6th. And Brittany Lincecum going to measure this off here. Next to go on the par 3.
Yeah, probably. She had 2 clubs out and switched with her caddy, Missy Peterson, late for the 9-iron. The other one most likely a wedge. Brittany a long hitter, but like a few of the long hitters, Brooke Henderson included, doesn't hit the irons particularly far. Doesn't like really going after the irons. But this hole sets up nicely for her to just hit a soft little hold draw into that breeze. Exactly what she's done, turning it over a bit. Will it stop?
Pretty good. And if you don't know, and probably most people do, but the line between the tee markers, you're allowed to go 2 club lengths back from that line with where you tee your golf ball.
Second at the 9th for Georgia Hall.
Very straight away par 4. Second hardest hole on the golf course in the first round.
It's a tough hole, as you say, Judy. I'm not so sure that was her best. Maybe trying to get a little aggressive towards that flag.
It's pretty flat in the front. It's not a green that's elevated in any sort of way, so there's more than one way to get on the putting surface.
Not a green to the left of the hole today. We saw Karen Stupples make a birdie by knocking it into the middle of the green. To 16.
And the hole in the shadows right now. These tall trees here all around the golf course, creating those as the sun moves.
Which will make reading this putt a little bit dicey. There's not a whole lot of movement to the putt, so it's very subtle. You think back to her round yesterday, Terry, she had 10 birdies. 4 of them were on the front 9, 6 on the back 9, and she birdied 16, 17, and 18, actually 15 through 18. And these 3 holes to finish this back 9 are usually ranked the hardest 3 on the course, so that was quite a coup for her.
Tremendous day with the putter, Jude, yesterday.
Boy, 21 putts. It not only means you've, putted the lights out, but you've hit it close a lot of times.
Shorter putts, yeah.
Yeah, you have hit it close a lot of times.
And hence the other stats that they have come up with, and like on the PGA Tour, strokes gained, putting and whatnot, because it's a bit misleading, the total number of putts that you have for a day is reflecting whether you're putting great or not.
She's definitely a solid ball striker. I mean, she ranks 80% in her fairways hit on the year and 74% greens, so top 10 in both those stats, and it's actually been her putting that is relatively passé, but it certainly wasn't so yesterday.
Nice effort here.
It's pretty interesting. 81% of fairways hit ranks 6th on the LPGA Tour.
Wow.
So that means a lot of people are playing from the fairway.
Yes.
Judy, I heard a stat doing a radio show with our friends Carl and Dennis Paulson a couple of days ago that the number one ranked PGA Tour in driving accuracy would be 73rd on the LPGA Tour.
Yeah, I knew it was much different, but Jude, that's kind of shocking, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it really is. And in terms of the women and the men, club head speed has a lot to do with accuracy, but let's not. Oh, beautiful.
Speaking of accuracy.
Yeah, but let's not underestimate the club head speed on this tour either, because some are swinging the club as fast as 105, 106, 107 miles per hour.
Tough start, good bounce back. 5, 7, 8 to get it back to 3 under. And the cut line, by the way, at least for the moment, has moved to 1 under. It was 2 under, but you got 84 players, so that might bounce back again. Keep it here as Lincecum has
The whole way?
the discussion.
Missy pretty heavily involved in the read there, telling her it's going to break her right the whole way. Just past the hole. You don't quit breaking, but the goal is to not get it past the hole, it's to get it in it. So a little bit back uphill from the back edge. Started right on the line she wanted, I think. Oh, and it turned left at the end.
That was almost like the hole might be raised just that little fraction that it turned that way.
Let's see, had the one to about a 180 on the previous hole, and
Wow.
that one looked like it was in the whole way.
I was turning right the entire way until the last couple of inches.
Yeah, that wasn't due to actual break or slope. That was just a little, I'm going to say the hole raised that ever so tiny little fraction.
Mm-hmm. Wailing Shi, this for birdie at 16.
And this for back-to-back birdies.
There you go, the 23-year-old from Chinese Taipei. 4th year out here on the LPGA Tour and still looking to break through with the win. Now, Minjee Lee, this for birdie at 8.
Well, she had to be watching closely. That's just 3 inches away from where Brittany Lincecum attempted her birdie.
Had
a little more speed, yeah.
That was the difference. Well, it's pretty impressive what she's done. She's in the top 5 in 6 different major categories, including birdies, which you just saw, to get it to 9 under.
You know, there's a term that I use, and I can't totally explain it, but maybe you'll feel it the same way I do. She's one of those players with a very organized mind on the golf course. She is not flighty and erratic.
Huh. Alex at 16. That's for par. So take me through that. It doesn't get distracted, doesn't get cluttered.
Yeah, she doesn't get high and low. She concentrates well, and she has the ability to come back if something goes wrong.
Sort of through some scores here at the Cambia Portland Classic. Robin Ree had that really good day yesterday. Level par 72 for the rookie. Today, there's MB Park 70. Daniela Iacobelli time running out for Daniela to keep her card for this season. She's 126th on the money list, and the top 100 players will avoid going to the Q Series at the end of the season. So she needs probably another $50,000 to $60,000 to avoid that fate. Let's go to the 10th.
Third shot coming up from Itali.
An aggressive ball striker.
Par 5, 516 yards. And the direction, will it stay? Nope, going to come back a little bit.
J-Marie Green for birdie at the 7th. Trying to get her to 6 under par. Oh yeah, right in the middle. That's 2 birdies in a row for J-Marie, who has the unenviable, well, crown of being twice a winner of the Q School. You really want to win it twice. One's enough.
Yeah, exactly. That experience once. The voice of and the golf ball of, and a Nordquist on the approach here, just to the edge of the green. Played well last week, continuing good play this week, but they all chase 11 under at the top here. Clouds have moved off for the most part. Beautiful this afternoon here in Portland. Temperatures in the mid-70s. So Yeon Yu in the 3rd on the way here at the par 5 10th. Yeah.
If you can tell by the demeanor and the way a person plays, So Yeon Yu is another one of them on my list of organized minds.
Georgia Hall chipped it to here. This for par at the 9th. Keep this good round going. Yes, just enough of the right side. When things are going well, those fall in. 32 on the front 9 for Georgia. Really good golf. Brittany Altomare trying to mirror what J-Marie Green did here. Ball just starts to fall away and in. Good putt, keeping it high enough. Pretty strong sock game there from Ali McDonald.
Yeah.
Always brings something with the socks. Underestimated part of the wardrobe, socks.
Well, it's a signature thing for her, don't you think?
Yeah, but you know, you can really change an outfit with a good pair of socks. Wear a blue suit with some colourful socks and boom, you got some style, some pizzazz, Judy.
Aren't socks an undergarment, technically?
Yeah, only if you're sitting down.
Yeah, that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
We'll have more on fashion shortly.
Or not, actually, as we move on.
Yeah, this is a 130 yard shot, right? You
Okay.
Like that? I like that.
Yeah, like at 132.
Yeah, a little over 130, yeah.
She worked hard on the hairdo this morning.
Does that take a lot of work?
I would assume so. I've never tried to do exactly that, but she's got a good look going on. She's a wonderful ball striker, a player who was sick all through the winter.
Tom, if you have no socks on, where does that fall in your list of fashion do's and don'ts?
Summertime, or South Florida or the Caribbean.
Acceptable, though?
Oh, 100%, but not in the winter. You'd look a bit foolish.
Tom, my card driver, Joan Edwards-Powell, you remember her as the 26-time
Yes,
Women's Club champion
I do
here?
remember.
She agrees. Socks are one of the few places a man can express his individuality.
Joan and I are on the same wavelength in sartorial aspects, but sadly not in the amount of club championships.
Do they wear socks
still
in the
zero.
south of France?
In the winter, yes.
Oh, okay.
Tally for birdie at 10. Seen this putt made.
Got a chance. Got a chance.
You and I both got excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped working left.
Emma Talley is our truest American Southerner on this tour. When you hear her talk, it just makes you smile. Yeah.
At the 9th, second shot for Lincecum.
140 from the rough. Decent angle, though. Probably just playing that front yardage. Good looking line, Tom.
Oh, nice little soft bounce as well, just short of the green. If that just stays there, she's going to have a really good chance for birdie.
Yeah,
Shot.
took a little advantage there of her length off the tee.
Absolutely. Back to 10.
Anna Nordquist saw the approach. This for birdie here at the par 5. The Evian Championship coming up in a couple of weeks. It'll be Anna defending the title there, France. Birdie and a bogey on the card so far on the opening 9 holes, so out in an even par 36. Got that one surrounded.
This is the 17th hole. Marina Alex's second shot.
Took quite a bit of time to select a club and hit this shot. And I'm not surprised that she hit it poorly. It would seem like a lot of indecision.
Seemed like she was coming in from quite a way back there, Kay.
She had 143 yards to the hole.
Back over to the 9th, Minjee Lee's second. And that's going to work out well. Players really starting to dial in the feel for how much the ball is going to release. Now Ryan O'Toole.
One pace ahead and in the middle of the fairway from where Marina hit. And Ryan has worked herself outside of the cut line with bogeys at the last couple holes. Needs to flip things around.
Yeah, first 9 holes for these players. They still have to make the turn and play the front 9, so a little bit of time left. Flag today cut on that first tier at the front of the green as we go to the 10th.
Emma Talley missed her par putt. This for bogey.
Yeah, I think the par putt was just about this length from behind the hole.
Yeah. After having an opportunity, they had to work awfully hard for bogey. And back to back, and now it's got to make up at least a couple of shots to make it to the weekend. To 9.
Should be Amy Yang first to go. I think she's wandering over.
Doesn't look like she's getting ready to putt.
No, I thought she was wandering over to take a look at the line, but I think she's just waiting in the shade.
Yeah, I think she's second to putt, maybe third. It's Brittany Lincecum who'll be first, putting back down the slope. But overall, 3 really good looks at birdie on Tom. What you told us earlier is the toughest hole on the course today.
Well, they're making it look easy here, this group.
Highly skilled professionals. Should just die to the left at the end. Or not.
Yeah, just started it too far out. Just a par. And the first 9 holes completed for Brittany Lincecum. 1 over for the day. Megan Kang, Marina Alex tied for the lead, the second round of the Cambia Portland Classic. Georgia Hall going along well, 4 under for the day. Brittany Marchand with a round of 5 under. The coverage continues here from Portland in just a moment.
High blue sky continues here in Portland. It's day 2 and the second round of the Cambia Portland Classic, the 47th edition. Columbia Edgewater Country Club. Terry Gannon, Judy Rankin, and the crew here watching. We have a little more wind than we did yesterday, but not a big factor. In fact, it may have laid down a little bit in the last 15 minutes. 65 for Megan Kang, 7 under. Marina Alex out there playing. Minjee Lee playing some great golf along with Georgia Hall. Brooke Henderson done for the day and maybe a chance to get some rest. Sue O, 69. Out to the golf here at 17, Tom.
Marina Alex has this for par. That's a shame. Not able to get the ball up and down. Missed the green left, Kate.
No, and that's her first bogey this week. I guess you got to figure one's going to come eventually, right?
Well, we've seen players go all 4 rounds here, but it's not going to be for Marina Alex. It's pretty rare, isn't it, to be able to play 4 rounds without making a bogey.
Out to the 10th now, and Georgia Hall trying to get it to 11 under. Had an opportunity to do that back at the 8th, but now is in a share of second place, 1 back.
It's a very putt that Emma Talley had a few minutes ago, and it was very quick.
Yeah, she ran it by, missed the putt coming back, ended up making bogey.
It may turn just from the right, but not a whole lot of movement, very little.
Pretty good putt because that can't get away from you. Wasn't, and now is. Yep, okay. Stay right there. And a share of second with Minjee Lee and Marina Alex, who comes off that bogey. Kang is 65, up by 1. Angela Stanford playing some good golf. 300 today and 8 under overall, Judy.
Yeah, and her mom is here watching her play. Her mom is once again in that battle with breast cancer, but doing well.
What are you talking about on camera? Low scores, got to go low pressure that way, whatever it is, because nobody drops out. It is the second round of the Cambia Portland Classic here at Columbia Edgewater Country Club in Portland. Another beautiful day. Temperature in the mid-70s and just a little bit of a breeze. Make it awfully comfortable here in the Pacific Northwest. Off and running, Terry Gannon, Hall of Famer Judy Rankin watching Brooke Henderson earlier today. Shot 8 under on day 1 coming off the huge win last week. Making some putts. That at 15 to get it to 7 under. coming off bogeys at 13, 14, so good bounce back. How about Sue O? Played great last week, 6 under to start the day. This is her second at 6, Jude.
Yeah, the player from Australia is on a bit of a roll, and it would not surprise me at all to see her in the mix come Sunday afternoon.
That's going to be the second birdie in a run of 4 straight. Got it to 9 under, a 69, and then Henderson, this at 6 to get it to 9 under. Time to get some rest after a round of 71.
Yeah, not what she wanted today, but certainly nothing that took her out of this tournament.
Megan Kang really got out of the gates well today. At 12 for birdie to get it to 9 under, so just like that, she's in the picture here. Actually 11 under and 65 for the 20-year-old from Massachusetts. Marina Alex tied the tournament record, 62, her career low on tour yesterday. Got the putter working again.
Yeah, that 62 was one of the great rounds played by Marina Alex this year.
How about Georgia Hall, the winner of the Rica Women's British Open? Such a popular win back in England. That for birdie at 6. Played last week in Canada, but had some time off after that major victory. And Minjee Lee, the 22-year-old from Australia, birdie at 8 to get it to 9 under. She'd go back-to-back at the 9th, get it to double figures. And this is how we stand. Georgia Hall in a share of second, along with Minjee Lee. Marina Alex, a bogey at the last, so she is 1 off the lead as they chase Megan Kang in the clubhouse after a 65. Golf Channel and the LPGA Tour proudly present the season-long race to the CME Globe. From Portland, Oregon, it's second round coverage of the Cambia Portland Classic. Great city here, so much to do in the downtown area, more and more every year as more people make their way here. Yeah, the traffic gets a little worse, but you just take the river, the Columbia, out here to the golf course then. Columbia Edgewater Country Club here has been around since the mid-20s. And for the 29th time, it is hosting this event. All the names, all the faces of the champions through the years, including some of the greats. And Nancy Lopez, who was on site this week, a 3-time champion of this Cambia Portland Classic. 6,500 yards, just under a par 72. Visually, it's stunning, and you just get on the property here, Judy, and you smell the trees. You know you're in the Pacific Northwest. Judy and I in the booth here at 18, along with Tom Abbott, Jerry Foltz, and Kay Cockrell out on the golf course. And we are just to the left of where Marina Alex is, about to play her second at 18K.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Well, and quickly I'll mention she is not defending this week. She is a non-winner on the LPGA Tour, but her caddy is defending.
That's right.
Travis Wilson works full-time for Stacy Lewis, who is, as everybody knows, away expecting her first child.
This is the 3rd week that Travis and Marina have worked together. And I think I'd like to be guided around this golf course by someone who has won here. Marina coming off her first bogey of the week. And that was a well-struck iron right there. Great way to respond.
Yeah, nice shot, tougher hole location.
Early birdie on the card, but as Kay said, just coming off her first bogey, so even par for the day. Minjee Lee on the way at 10.
109 to the hole, which is placed on that just shallow top shelf, top ledge actually. A lot of players coming up in that vicinity on their thirds.
Yeah, you see the flag moving a little bit. We didn't see that at all yesterday, and it's not exactly a Royal Birkdale win, but it's a factor at times. Glad to have you with us here. It's a beautiful day, too, in Portland. Let's talk Marina Alex at first. A 62 on day 1. She hasn't won on the LPGA Tour. Share a second at the Founders Cup earlier this year, so she's gotten close. It's that age-old question. How do you back up around like that?
It's tough, and nobody has the recipe for how you do it, and nobody exactly knows why you can't do it.
Yeah.
It has been done, but it is a rare thing to have kind of the round of your life, at least thus far in your golf life, and back it up with something that's pretty spectacular. She's playing okay today. She's got some things going. The golf course seems to not be as friendly today as it was yesterday. There are not as many low scores.
Hole locations maybe and a little bit of a breeze?
Very possible. Very early this morning there was something kind of like rain. It was a heavy mist, but
Kind of like rain.
Well,
What
I was told it was more of a heavy
Rain
mist
or-
than it was actually rain, but it did dampen the golf course and might have made a difference for the morning players and make less of a difference for these afternoon players. But I love the leaderboard because it's a big mix of players.
It's that pressure where you know the scores are low. The cut line right now is at 2 under par. You know you can't go out there and just hang in and shoot 1 under and make it to the weekend.
Yeah, players love this course. There are players who come back time after time. I saw that Anna Nordquist is here for the 9th time this year. It's the kind of golf course that makes you really want to play golf. But what we have on the leaderboard are players who are winners, players who are having a really good year like Minjee Lee. And then we have players who haven't won on the LPGA Tour like Marina Alex, like Megan Kang, who played so well yesterday. Megan Kang today actually was 65, but you got a lot of interesting things that can happen on the weekend here. And don't forget Brooke Henderson,
Who will get some rest now after the 71 today and 9 under overall. Out to Lincecum's play here, running away a bit.
Pretty awesome shot from that awkward lie, though, to get it on that top shelf with a chance at birdie.
At 12, Karen Stupples, not working with us this week, but out there between the ropes, playing 4 over today after a round of 1 under 71 yesterday. Had a double earlier, a couple of bogeys, but hanging in, making
Okay.
long putts.
Okay. She has really been hitting the ball well. I mean, striping it on the practice tee.
You know what? And she's having a blast out there, too. Bounce back after the double at 11. Hadn't played competitively out here on the LPGA Tour since, what, the ShopRite in 2016?
Yeah, a one-off
Yeah.
kind of appearance. So she is not a tour player any longer. She's a television announcer.
Told me this morning she was nervous yesterday when
Yeah,
she teed it up.
I
Wasn't
bet.
early in the week, but she was when she got closer to the tee time. 211.
Second shot for Pernilla Lindberg.
Green sits well up at 11.
Best finish since her win at the ANA Inspiration was 10th. That was in Los Angeles. It really hasn't been too impressive since the win. She finished 15th at the ShopRite LPGA Classic. She's missed a couple of cuts, including last week. She had the wrong end of the draw. I was talking to her caddy on the range a couple of days ago, and he was just saying, you know, the draw was a big part of last week, and you don't want to make too many excuses. That was a big first bounce there. May have just pitched on the downslope. Don't want to make too many excuses, but players that played in the afternoon on Friday really had some pretty tricky conditions, very strong winds, and the temperature dipped from about 90 to 50 degrees.
Within the time of play.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And 35-mile-per-hour gusts. Afternoon was ridiculous Friday. All right. Minjee Lee saw that approach come up short of that top shelf, but this for birdie and a share now.
Yeah, and just as she putts from here, it goes up a slope that gradually increases all the way till about 10 feet short of the hole. Tough to get the speed right here. And then up top, it levels out so quickly, easy to gun it by. Seen putts all week long just run out an extra foot or two more than players expect.
That was well judged. Saw a 3-putt there earlier after running it by, so good speed. And still one back. 4 wins in her career, including the Volvic earlier this season. Marina Alex now for birdie at 18.
See if she can get that shot back she dropped at the last hole. Looked like an awfully good stroke, Judy.
I thought she had it turned a little more to the right than I think I would have seen.
Let's come at 10 for birdie.
Should turn just a little bit left from here. Set 3 near misses in the last 3 holes leading up to this. There you go.
Played against the guys in the Barbasol. Shot, what, 71 in that second round?
Yeah.
Pretty darn impressive.
Her dad's here with her this week. He loves to come and watch his daughter play golf, and she loves her dad. I tell you, one of my great stories with Brittany Lincecum is on a very special birthday for her dad. He had always somewhat coveted a red Corvette, and on a very special birthday, she bought him that red Corvette. I think that's a pretty sweet story.
Earlier on this hole, Brittany was talking to one of the rules officials. Do you know what that was about, Jerry?
Yeah, she dropped her driver on the tee, and it hit a hard surface, and you hear that rattle in the head. So she was checking with Sue Witters as to whether or not she could take out the weights to see if something had broken loose, or adjust the club head, or tighten the club head, as they are adjustable now. And without altering anything, she was allowed to do just that. But the problem is, it didn't fix the problem.
Georgia Hall second at 11. That's just pitched on the downslope as well. Coming in with a shorter club, had a bit more stop. Well, that could be a bit of an issue for Brittany. Some players travel with extra equipment. I'm not so sure that the equipment van will still be here. Still around. That's good for her.
Today's coverage is brought to you by Cambia Health Solutions, by CME Group, how the world advances, and by Win Grips, the best grips in golf.
Back on the 11th green with Georgia Hall, who has this for birdie to tie the lead. From Bournemouth on the south coast of England. She didn't like that right away. Never got it online, so it's just going to be a par for Georgia Hall. Remains 4 under for the day, 1 shot back of Megan Kang.
Got a moment, we'll check out our course setup, brought to you by the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America. And said it's an old classic layout here in Portland, par 72, under 6,500 yards through the trees.
And a lot of people have had some part in the redesign of this golf course that was first built in 1925. It's in beautiful condition, and we talk about all the trees and how beautiful they are. 1958, 300 sequoias were added to the landscape here, so all kinds of conifers. I'm learning about trees this week.
Well, let me just say, it was a good decision to add them.
And a random weeping willow or two.
Inji Chun, okay. Moves Inji to 1 under par, battling away to be here for the weekend. At the moment, the cut is 1 under. Whether it will stay there remains to be seen. And there's a great example of those trees that line the fairways here. They're just ginormous.
And by the way, our friends, and I hope they are our friends, with the F-15s up above, they're back from the Air National Guard.
They took off a little earlier today as
Yes.
I was heading over to the booth. And now Georgia Hall for par. I managed to capture it on my Instagram story. I'm learning. You can follow me, Judy. Tom Abbott GC.
You are kind of a plane nerd,
Yeah,
aren't
I'm a
You're
bit of a-
fascinated about all
bit of
these
an-
airplanes.
They call it app geeks. It's the term.
you? Shea Marie Green, second shot, left side here, right along the edge of the fairway. Par 5.
Shot.
That's just a 4 position kind of layup.
Yeah, 10 is a par 5, and then 12, the 2 par 5s in the back 9.
This for back-to-back birdies. Karen Stupples to get back to 2 over. Needs it to go. Trying to make the weekend. She's going to have to make a few birdies now.
Karen and Maria Hoyuribe are a twosome out in the middle of the field, so they've had a little time to visit.
Yeah, Caroline Inglis withdrew before the competition began yesterday with a back injury. Really disappointing for her because she's a member at Columbia Edgewater, and she obviously was desperate to play here but just couldn't go. Yang second at 11.
114 playing down breeze. Oh,
It's really firming up, Jerry.
Yeah, down breeze from a downhill lie in the fairway. That first bounce is always going to be big, but I didn't expect to be able to hear it from that far away.
Yeah, it's strange. We've seen a few. I thought one we saw earlier pitched on the downslope, but maybe it didn't. Maybe it's just that front portion of the green really firming up. And Minji next to go.
Great angle and only 101 yards to the hole. But a downhill lie, first cut of rough, very little spin this will have on it, and you need a ton.
Very hard to spin the ball in the same fashion as you do normally when the green sits well above you, because the ball doesn't get down to the bottom of its arc.
All those factors leading this to be a shot she's probably playing out right of that front bunker to the front portion of the green, just like that. Oh my goodness, it still is it acted like it had zero spin on it.
That'll be something to watch for over the weekend here. The screen's firming up.
Right of it.
Let's check out players who have earned the most top 10 finishes this season. Our Leaders Cosmetics Top 10s leaderboard. And both of the Jutanagarn sisters up there, Aria and Moria. Aria not in the field this week. And Minji Lee, who is, along with Jin Young Ko, great young player, rookie on the LPGA. Brooke Henderson, Liddy Ko with 6. Anna Nordquist and Amy Yang, who are watching right now. Got to give yourself a chance week to week to break through and win out here. Not easy to do, Jude.
Winning is hard in the professional game, whatever tour you're playing on, and there are just so many talented people, and then people you didn't even know about pop up and are turning out to be talented.
Some of those we watched late yesterday. You got to have a lot of perseverance and miss cuts every week. Stay out here. All right, listen in here at the first.
Today things just not as easy as they were yesterday. but Marina's hit a lot of quality shots. Good tee shot here at the first has left her 99 yards for her second. Breeze right to left. Oh, very nice shot. Little zip back, but well struck.
Yeah, better shot than the final result. I think that would have been within a few feet of the hole. Well, it's an uphill putt. You have to see something positive.
A little disappointing, wasn't she, that that didn't go in. Could have been really special. Megan Kang has a one-shot lead. Marina Alex with a chance to tie. Back on the 11th hole here in the second round of the Cambia Portland Classic. Minjee Lee for birdie.
Birdie putt that's going to turn left pretty much the whole way.
Trying to ease it down there. Just didn't run out for her. So that's a good 4 in the end for Minjee Lee. Just not able to get the ball close with the second shot. She's right where she needs to be to attack over the weekend. Try and win again on the LPGA Tour, make it a 5th win.
Emma Talley for birdie here at 12. Needs a few right now. The cut line, well, you got 81 players at 1 under or better, so to be 1 or 2, probably 2, curls it in.
That putt was so long you could have done hang time on it. It took it a while to get to the hole.
Take a while, didn't it?
Marina Alex for birdie at the first.
Her caddy, Travis, came up to me and asked if her ball had indeed hit the flagstick. They weren't sure. And figured it must have to come backwards that much.
Yeah, it made a bit of a difference. Not a huge amount. It wasn't one of those really unlucky moments. Just a little kiss off the flag. Not able to convert though. So just a 4 there for Marina Alex. When that goes in, she'll remain even par for the day. And back to that age-old question: how is it that you can shoot 62 on day 1, and then at the moment she's heading for 72 on day 2? Wailing Shi for a birdie.
Tom, she got severely gut punched on the last green. Hit a approach shot hole high right, and then 4-putt.
4-putted.
Yes, and missed a couple of shorties about 2 feet that power lipped out. So let's see how she can respond to it. See if she can maintain some confidence with the putter, which is so hard to do, Judy, after you do something like that.
Man, that is every player's nightmare.
Yes, it is. And it wasn't a particularly long initial birdie putt, maybe 25 feet. So
Is this a tough little short one, Kay?
yeah, well, I'd say everything is tough
Right
for her
after,
right now.
right after you 4-putted, that was not a very good question on my part.
Oh, and this is where you have to just, try being positive. This game is such a game of confidence and positivity, and when things go wrong, you have to somehow trick your mind and body into thinking that you still can do it.
You know, I'm amazed. If you look back at Annika Sorenstam's career, she made a lot of putts, but she missed a lot of putts.
Oh no, it's in her head, isn't it?
And she missed putts, and she was able immediately to put it behind her. And that was part of the reason she has ended up so great.
Let's come off the tee here at 12.
Oh, with that tee shot, maybe a decent chance to get home in 2 for Brittany. Not many players can.
547 yards, this par 5.
And pretty flat.
B.G. Lee will be next with the driver.
There is some breeze helping here, mostly from the left. But judging by that bounce out of Brittany's, fairways have really firmed up in just a day. This is down the left side. Not a bad bounce there either.
Yep, in the fairway. Judy, I've said it before. It's true in athletics, no matter the sport. Happiness is reserved for those of us not cursed by self-awareness. 3-putt? What 3-putt? I didn't 3-putt.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to look at that too.
I didn't 4-putt the last. Never happened. Back at the 12th, the par 5, and the 3rd coming up for Georgia Hall.
Yeah, some green to work with today at this par 5. The hole is 19 paces deep in the green.
Tied for 28th last week, coming back after a little time off. Marina Alex on the tee at the 2nd.
A little bit of breeze hurting from the right, mostly coming out of the northwest. Going with 6-iron. And she pulled that one.
And not nearly as sharp as yesterday. As we remind you, you can enter Golf Advisor's Stream Song Resort Sweepstakes. Your chance to play Stream Song Red, Blue, and Black with luxury resort accommodations. Enter now at golfadvisor.com/the tour package. So the 65 and 11 under total is holding up so far. Kang in the clubhouse a long time ago. Shadows across the green at 12. Pernilla Lindberg has this coming up for birdie.
A lot of people just immediately have a new mindset after they win something big, and when they win maybe for the first time. She won for the first time and something big.
It was a big win and worth talking about from Consumer Cellular. Lindbergh, that win in the desert, Judy.
Yep, and Area Chutanagarn let it. I love there was a headline when she won the U.S. Open. The headline said, "Lost and found."
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. Perfect way of putting it.
It was perfect. All 4 of those players with great championships, but I wanted to just say about Pernilla Lindbergh that it's real easy to think you're supposed to be something different the next day, and that everything has changed for you. And I think you work a little different. Maybe you work a little harder. Maybe you expect more of yourself. And she's done a little bit too much of that. She needs to just relax and play her game. It was good enough that week, and it'll be good enough again.
Well said. Winner of the first major this season and the winner of the most recent one in Georgia Hall in this group. Good read, good stroke.
Yeah, downhill putt, little iffy for speed. You had to be a little bit careful and right in the heart.
And sharing the lead at 11 under par. Anna Nordquist, by the way, also in the field this week, and she'll be defending at the 5th and final major of the season in a couple of weeks, the Evian Championship. Meanwhile, Ryan O'Toole from off the green here at the 2nd.
It's a good example, Terry, of this green, how there's a false front, and she didn't carry it on enough, and it came back off the front, and actually Marina Alex didn't come too far away from doing the same thing. And Ryan's going to have to bear down on this this second 9. Made a real nice birdie at the 18th to kind of get her back under par, but not having her best stuff today.
Inji Chun to get it to 2 under.
And she could tell you a little bit about the conversation I just had with myself or with you fellas.
I was here.
Yes. Her 2 wins are major championships, and she has struggled to play at the top of her game in a regular tournament.
But if you're going to win,
Yeah.
timing is everything.
There's only going to be 2. Those are 2 beauts.
Brooks Koepka. I mean, that, you win a major championship, you got to prove to yourself that you can win anywhere. Looks like I'm waiting for this to clear. So the par 5, and as Jerry said, thinking she can get there. Pernilla Lindbergh taking a close look at this one.
She's a funny little move that really she had just started earlier in the year when she had that win, but she tries to kind of bring her upper body up. There it is. Whether that is to see a better line, find a comfortable position, I'm not sure, but it has become part of her address routine.
And by the way, Koepka has one elsewhere, but it's he wins the big events, and something to be said for that. Alex, a lengthy one here at the second.
This is a good 40-footer. Just trying to cozy it up for an easy 2-putt.
Won't be easy, Kay.
No, it won't.
So at 12, the wait is over, and now Lincecum second at the par 5.
249 front to 68 hole. Breeze helping from the left, but no room right because of those sequoias to hit her patented draw and sling it in there. Hit it pretty straight.
Oh. Beauty.
That's a 280-yard 3-wood right there.
Settle. Right up against the cut. Maybe it's not a very steep cut. Great shot.
Made that look easy, Judy.
Yeah.
Our second look, presented by Versant Health. Worth it this time in this swing.
Yeah, she breaks her hands really early in the swing, and she has a big drop down there. She kind of finds what is her slot. She is naturally a right to left player, and she hung on to that one pretty well through there and didn't let it go left. As Jerry said, she couldn't start it to the right. Heck of a shot, and really long.
Versant Health. Second look for Brittany Lincecum here at the par 5. I mean, maybe a handful of players who could even think about going after this into getting there, and we really haven't seen it.
Half a dozen, maybe.
Yeah. Back at 2, Ryan O'Toole has got this left for par.
Judy, I was talking with her caddy, and he said that, you know, she's just becoming a more consistent player. She's been working with Jorge Parada for the last couple of years, really working on course management and sort of coming up with a game plan each week. She has so much raw natural talent that she's just been trying to chip away at honing that and getting more consistent, getting in the mix more.
She does have a lot of natural talent, and she's a real physical specimen. She works hard in the gym and on the practice tee.
Injuries taking her away. The 31-year-old from UCLA.
Yeah, I like an 80-yard shot. Yeah, perfect.
Jane Marie Green has her brother on the bag. Matt Green. One of a number of sibling combinations on the LPGA Tour. See how firm that bounces. A lot of stop on that ball considering. So not too bad. Tough to get the ball close to the hole today. To the 13th, Emma Talley for birdie. Emma needs to get something going here, otherwise it might be the weekend off. Nice birdie on the previous hole to those drop shots at 9 and 10, but a body English not going to get it to drop, so she will remain even par, which is tied for 78th. She may need 2 more birdies in order to be around for tomorrow's play. And go back 1 to the 12th.
So Lincecum get there in 2, but the third coming up from Minjee Lee.
Yeah, her 3-wood went a little right and short. Not a great angle from here. Bouncing it through the fringe nicely.
Boy, that was really well judged. Man. Chance for birdie. Par putt, Alex at the second.
A healthy 5-footer. Well, it seemed like she thought a little bit extra about that, but made it easily.
To avoid her second bogey of the day, had her first at 17, but still 10 under, and 1 off the lead of Megan Kang and Georgia Hall here along the Columbia, and beautiful look at Portland, about 20 minutes from downtown.
Georgia Hall tied for the lead here at the Cambia Portland Classic on the tee at the 13th. Flag today front right. More to hazard on the left. Yeah, nice shot by Georgia and a good chance to take the lead on her own. And we'll go back over to the 12th.
So Lincecum now has this left for birdie after running her eagle attempt by.
Yeah, she was really upset with the read she put on that putt from the fringe. She didn't end up going with putter and that belly in the wedge that she toyed with. But still a really good look here. You'd hate to walk away from here with a par after those 2 shots to get home in 2.
Perfect.
You hear that hum across the street. We heard the F-15s up above earlier in the Air National Guard. You know, the Indy cars across the street. So a lot going on in this area of Portland this week.
One of the things Minjee Lee said about her round yesterday was she talked about the yardages, which translates to it was an easy day to pick clubs. I wasn't in between clubs all day, and it doesn't matter what level you play the game. There are some days when it's just obvious what you should hit, and those are easier days.
And those are easier putts to make. So 4th birdie on the card today, 11 under par. Sharing the lead, 2-11 we go.
And the 24-year-old from South Florida, J. Marie Green. She's 66th in the race to the CME Globe. Top 72 make it to the Tour Championship. The week before Thanksgiving, played down in Naples, Tiburon. Always a great week down there. 3 tied for the top. Minjee Lee, Georgia Hall, Megan Kang. Megan Kang, the only one of those 3 who's yet to win on the LPGA. Maybe it'll be this weekend in Portland. The Weather Channel has redesigned its app.
And it lies.
It does?
It said it's been 60 all week. It's way more than that.
No, it says it's 70 something.
That's where it's like, if it gets out right, it would have went right.
It's gonna stay until all of it.
I know.
Oh, it's good actually.
There's only 2 in this one.
Oh, that's right. This is a quickie.
back at 14. Second shot. Anna Nordqvist at 6 under. Judy, you were talking about it being more difficult today. Maybe not for Anna here at 14. Nearly. But it's the course average yesterday, scoring average just over 71. Today it's 72.42. That's significant.
Yeah, that's a big stroke and a half.
Bringing back down at the 13th green, where Pernilla Lindberg has this for birdie. Players will be looking forward to having a week off next week. It's been a busy summer, and then a lot of international travel. This the last event in the US prior to the Tour Championship. Trip to Evian and then over to Asia. And not going to stay high enough. Pernilla, the daughter of keen golfers. Her father, Jan, was a scratch golfer and represented Sweden on the senior men's national amateur team. He has been the president of their local golf club for 40 years. Does that mean that nobody else wants the aggravation of being the president?
It's possible.
He was there along with her mother to watch when she won the ANA. This week she has her future in-laws here watching. Right around the cut line at the moment, 2 under. Georgia Hall taking a look at her birdie putt. Just really impressed by what she's been able to do. We saw her gritty determination and the level of play that she could produce at the Solheim Cup last time around in Des Moines, Iowa. She was able to break through and win, much like Pernilla winning at a major championship, but this time doing it on home soil. And that scene as she walked up the 18th at Royal Lytham with the clubhouse right behind the green, and just fabulous atmosphere. The English fans getting to watch one of their own win a major for the first time since Karen Stupples did it at Sunningdale.
Good putt. You know, it was Pornanong Patlam that she faced down on that Sunday. Pornanong was the leader going into that final round, and she has really struggled since, whether just a huge letdown maybe not to close that championship.
There's the gap at the top of the Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year, and there are 150 points for a win in a regular season event, 300 points in a major championship. So as you look at that gap there between Jin Young Ko and Georgia Hall, you've got to imagine that the Evian Championship is going to be a very key week in the race for the Louise Suggs Rolex Rookie of the Year because of the double points that are on offer. So if Georgia Hall can win here and close the gap even further, then it is really game on. And she said that was one of her big goals at the beginning of the season, to win that race. Now, Lincecum on the tee at the 13th.
Going with 8-iron, breeze in from the right. Front hole location looks pretty innocuous, but it really brings in that water short and left. And probably Brittany's not the first player to hit it in that position. That is a brutal up and down from there.
Yeah, just no green to work with. Now Minjee. Anna Nordqvist has tapped in her birdie at the 14th. She moves to 7 under par. She's 5 back.
Minjee gonna hit a little 3/4 7-iron. Takes the spin off it, keeps it under the breeze. But that front right hole location, it's if they put it back another 8 or 10 steps into the green, you could use that backstop, the tier in the green. As it is, you can't right now. Very, very good line. If it's not too much. Oh, good shot.
Just barely. Good shot.
A bit confusing, that signboard back there that said Min Lee, short for Minjee. There is a Min Lee in the field who's 3 under. We've got a Min Lee and a Minjee Lee. It is Minjee who's just one shot back. She has a putt to tie the lead here, the second round of the Cambia Portland Classic.
Get in. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Wonderful approach at the third hole for Marina Alex. This for birdie.
Didn't realize how close she hit it till she got very close to the green.
And that moves her to 11 under par, Kate.
Yeah, her second birdie today, just her second. Seems like a she can hardly make any birdies compared to yesterday with 10.
Yeah, confidence is growing a little bit though. A couple of really good iron shots over the last few holes. So we'll go back over to 13. And it should be Amy Yang to play next.
It will be. Her putt for birdie in the process will give Minjee Lee another good read. Brittany Linscomb already played her second shot. It was a delicate little shot and just didn't catch it cleanly and wasn't able to get it on the green. She'll be putting from the fringe ultimately. Amy Yang, Tom, as you know, has battled back pretty nicely from that opening hole. Doubled her first today and hasn't had her A-game ball striking wise, but has been getting it done. Birdie the previous hole from the trees, believe it or not. And this one swinging right and very, very quick.
Oh, Amy's just played really well the last 2 weeks. Third place finish, fourth place finish. She's had a round of 64, 2 rounds of 65 over the last couple of weeks, and a round of 66. So you can maybe expect her to be a little tired after that that run, but she's got to have high confidence.
Ooh, she just touched it and she didn't really make a good stroke because she was so afraid to hit it. And you could see it. You don't need me to analyze that one.
We just recognize it because we've done it so often.
Yeah, it's something we all know.
14, second coming up for Georgia Hall, the leader. Hall, Lindbergh, Inji Chun, 3 major champs in this group. She avoided the divots here. Popular area of the fairway.
Pretty generous hole location. You have a chance to get it close here. There you go.
You know, I totally get where you're coming from. You try to live up to being a major champ once you become one, and we've talked so many major champs that talked about that and the danger in that. But it also gives her, from where she was, the confidence that she can come out here and close golf tournaments.
Yeah, well, she is just now experiencing playing after that.
Yep.
So people handle it in different ways.
Minjee down the hill.
Good stroke.
Can't be too aggressive with that one, though. And that'll be a 3 for Minjee. Remains 1 back. And we'll go up to the 14th.
And the 2nd for Lindbergh. And the same could be said for Piniella from that first major of the season, the ANA. Had to work overtime to close it out. Going to a playoff, coming back on Monday. And just making every putt. Not quite.
Yeah. It's funny, the greens are reacting in different ways. There are certain greens that are very firm, certain greens that aren't, and that's a guessing game sometimes.
That's looking for a par. It's a disappointing bogey for Brittany. Did she say last week that if she wasn't a pro golfer, or maybe when she retires from pro golf, she'd like to be a professional fisherwoman?
She has the skill. I think we all know that. She gives them about equal time, golf and fishing.
15th hole, 2nd shot for Emma Talley. Time running out here. Needs a couple of birdies.
Every tournament that she plays, and certainly when the year starts next year, matters to her in one way that you might not think of. She might make the U.S. Solheim Cup team, and she's got to shave every stroke. She sits 20th in the points earned right now.
Yeah, that was pretty firm there on that green. Emma Talley, one of the graduates from the Symetra Tour last year. And these are the graduates in the field here at the Cambia Portland Classic. Some of these players battling away to try and avoid having to go back potentially to the Symetra Tour next year. By the way, the Symetra Tour this week is in Sioux Falls, South Dakota for the Sioux Falls Great Life Challenge, where Dottie Ardina is leading. Dottie's played a few events on the LPGA this season. It's a tough road, Judy. I mean, we often see the top players, don't we, at the top of the leaderboards in our coverage, but so many battling away to try and make it to that point. It's a long, tough road for many.
Yeah, you bet. It's hard to get a card. It's hard to keep a card. And then it's hard to win.
1 off the lead, Marina Alex. She believes it, and it is. Knew it right away. So 1 off the lead is Alex. 1 under on the round today, much like Brooke Henderson, whose day is done. Both had very good rounds. Sensational round for Alex yesterday, that 62. Georgia Hall at 12 under. Get a water. Got a sparkling water? What do you think, Jude? 3 in a row for Georgia Hall?
It looks very makeable. A fairly flat green.
There you go. It is 12, 13, 14. Got it to 13 under par and a 2-shot lead on this Friday here in Portland. So golf taking place here, but also the Shaw Charity Classic may go on held in Minute, golf's legends, in the foothills of the Canadian Rockies, Calgary area. Coverage starting tonight, 8:30 Eastern Time on Golf Channel. Came up short at the 4th, Alex did, so this her 3rd.
A little chip and run that is usually one of the first shots that you learn in the game when you start working on the short game. Some people believe you should go short game back to hitting and back to long shots, and some think you should take that driver and rip it to get started.
J-Marie Green, tee shot at 13. Much shorter today with that whole location at the front. Yesterday it was 165, today just 139. J-Marie just splitting the difference there in the middle of the green. Anna Norquist at the 15th for a birdie. A couple of majors under her belt. First win was a major in 2009. The KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Played at Buller Rock at that time. Maryland played under a different name. A tournament that's become the Women's PGA. Maria Uribe for birdie at the 17th. Gets her to 4 under par. Takes a bit of pressure off for making the cut at least on the final hole. Doesn't need to worry.
She's a great girl, so enthusiastic, and I can't wait for her to win on this tour because I think people will really like her.
14, second shot, Amy Yang.
109 to the hole. Ball a little below her feet. Just a modified lengthy pitch shot there. Try to take the spin off to get it to run back to that hole. Not bad.
Body language, facial expression. Looked like she hated it, but it's not too bad.
You know, from that distance, players don't like that shot very much. That wasn't a great result.
Right on the edge of this divot for Minjee?
No, that's on the top of a replace divot, so the turf underneath is going to obviously be very loose.
Oh man.
Yeah, I would just maybe just keep it a little bit further back in your stance a little bit. Yeah, it's fine because we need a little bit longer. I mean, still some wind up there. Okay. Yep.
Great picture of it now, Jerry.
Pretty good instincts right there when she said that's going to make it go a little longer. That grass, that ground is going to move as soon as the club touches it. So you don't get that feeling of being able to pinch the ball into the ground, which is kind of a misnomer anyway, but nonetheless, it'll have less spin. 109. Picked it pretty cleanly off that. That is flying.
And then stopped.
That was really clipped nicely.
You heard her say, Judy, it came out weird.
Well, you kind of knew it would come out weird. And I'm not sure you exactly know what to expect, but she played a really good shot.
Not many divots get replaced twice.
Yeah. Alex for par. Yeah, she made one of those back at 2 and had to do it again. So everything's kind of a battle today. It's a fight to be at 11 under after everything coming easily yesterday. 1 under on the round. But that's kind of the way golf is.
Yeah, you know, these first 2 days here, I think, are a little cat and mouse game with yourself. You're just trying to position yourself to be have a chance to win on the weekend. Or you're a player who's trying to position themselves to play on the weekend. But it's a golf course that gives everybody a chance.
Back to what you were saying as we scroll through some of these leaderboards about first starting out in the game. I think the grab the driver and hit it as far as you can is in vogue at the moment.
Very much so. I think for a lot of girls and or women starting the game, it's not a bad idea because nobody tends, the female player doesn't tend to go as aggressively at it as young men do.
She's not, but
back with the leader here at the Cambia Portland Classic, Georgia Hall, her second.
And we've seen from previous players that have hit it over on this left-hand side. It's actually a good place to come into the screen from. You can work the ball a little left to right and let it release back.
See what she was trying to do there, pitch it short and let it run onto the green, but just pitched it a little bit too short. Not too bad though.
back 1 to 14. Minjee Lee for birdie.
Looks like it should go left. Greens are getting that sheen on them now, that dried out sheen to make them look crusty.
Gave that a run.
Goodness.
Just took off the putter. So Yun Yu on the tee at 16, the par 3, 176 yards.
If you've got a little tiny draw in your bag, it really works for this whole location, but you've got to land it 20 feet short of the hole. I think she just did exactly that.
I believe she did.
Beautiful.
Follow instructions beautifully.
Beautiful shot.
Number 3 player in the world.
If I could play that shot today, that's exactly what I would have done there.
Oh, I believe you can. We'll go out and work after the show. Come on. Going to hit balls. Lincecum for birdie at 14.
Should be sliding right after a very nice approach from the left rough. Oh, she's had a lot of close misses today.
I think she has continual little bits of frustration with her putting.
Plenty of frustration right now. 15.
Vanilla Lindbergh second.
1 under par today for the round from the middle of the fairway. Just a short iron in. Hard to tell from back where you hit it how it ends up in relation to the flagstick.
Well, it's going to stay on the green.
Meiji lead to stay at 11 under. Ouch, in a big way. Didn't really touch the hole, did it?
Either time. That was completely unexpected.
Okay. Yeah, it is in, but
Gave me a little start.
what an adventure that green was. Yeah, run as fast as you can to the 15th tee.
To the green at the 15th. And I think Georgia Hall will be first to go here, Kay, although maybe Pernilla is further away.
No, it's Georgia. Her ball just ended up one pace onto the screen, and the hole is located 17 paces on. So do the math, 16 paces to the hole. That should be a 48-footer. And at this point, you know, you've left yourself this far from the hole. It's really about just visualizing the speed. There's not a tremendous amount of break. The screen is overall pretty flat. So just try to cozy this up as close as you can. And Judy, I've talked about it so much. The art of the lag putt is definitely something that special people have.
Yeah, you see the line, you feel the distance. It's really not something that you can do mechanically. You have to have an instinct.
And it takes a lot of practice to hone that skill of understanding how hard to hit it.
Oh,
This is
another
pretty
one.
good.
Oh my goodness!
Making it from all over the shop.
Bonus time right there. Wow, what a putt.
3 in a row for Georgia Hall, followed by another one here, so make it 4 in a row.
That was a long shot for sure, and she made it look so easy. That just had the dead perfect speed.
Yep.
Oh, she is on song right now. A winner is part of the All Summer. Did you get it, Judy? All Summer?
Yes.
Okay,
I
good.
get it.
It began in June with the ShopRite LPGA Classic. Annie Park breaking through for her first LPGA win. So-Yeon Yu, Nasa Hataoka, Sung Yun Park winning a major championship. Kemper Lakes, and then Se-Young Kim with that record-setting performance in Green Bay. Terapa Sawanapura, first-time winner. The Marathon Classic area winning at Gullen, and then Georgia Hall becoming a Rolex first-time winner of a major championship. Sung-Hyun winning in Indy, and then last week was Brooke. This is the last event of the All Summer. And Pernilla has this for birdie.
This putt from exactly the opposite side that Georgia putted from.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, okay.
No, that was just okay, right?
You didn't see our graphic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, it was it was an awesome summer. I believe was the point.
Yes.
I was playing like I just got it, yes.
You were
Sorry.
playing like you were me, right? Yes. Okay.
No, no. 16 Anna Nordquist, but that did make me laugh. No.
It is a devilish little par 3, and it doesn't look as hard as it plays.
Why?
Because the front half of the green and the second half of the green play differently. It's very hard to choose a club.
Checking with Inji Chan, who has this for birdie. Steady. Should be okay. She's right on the cut line at 2 under.
Tom, pretty impressive group this is. The only wins they have are majors.
Of course, yes.
4 between them.
Well, if you're going to win a major.
Exactly. there's always people that ask that question, would you trade 2 major wins for 10 regular wins? I don't think many would.
Minjee's won a couple. Georgia and Vanilla 1 each. Let's go to the 5th hole. This is Marina Alex. It's a 3rd shot at the par 5. .489 yards, reachable for some. And she's been flagging it on the front 9. That one she doesn't seem to like too much. Just pulled it a little bit. It's fine, as she says. No damage there. Originally from New Jersey, now lives down in the Jupiter area. Very close friends with Michelle Wee. Michelle says she never watches golf, but maybe she'll watch this weekend. She's rehabbing at the moment her hand injury.
So Yun Yu for birdie at 16. Easy hole.
Yeah, that's a good 2 right there.
When you hit it there, it's easy. So well inside the cut line, which right now is 1 under and 76 players.
I don't think it's a pitching wedge, so 9? If I can find it. We're just gonna play taking it left. I'm taking this way left between like the bunker and the golf channel. Yeah, it all should be left to right at the green. 35? Okay.
Okay, I believe they're in agreement.
Yeah, 135 roughly the front number, 153 hole, lying down grain in the rough. Not going to have a lot of spin on it. And again, this green usually is firm and slopes away.
Yeah, just couldn't stop it from that lie. Go over to the 16th, which is very close to 15.
Very short walk over here. Georgia Hall on top at 14 under.
She has a 6-iron in her hand. Very aggressive play. But Judy, I guess when you're feeling it and you're so confident, why wouldn't you play aggressively every shot?
Boy, isn't that right, Kay? It's fun when it is working that way.
Minjee Lee's 2nd at the 15th on the way.
That was a 9-iron that was struck nicely. Should have a little spin on it.
Yeah, she did get that one to stop. So a good shot by Minjee and a great chance to bounce back. Get it back to 11 under. Try and close the gap between herself and Georgia Hall, who's having a terrific day. 8 under par for the round. 4 straight birdies. Is that Multnomah Falls? I'm getting the nod from our assistant Charlotte, who's been doing some hiking here in Oregon this week. The 15th hole here at Columbia Edgewater. Brittany Lincecum's third.
Shutting the face down on a wedge from a sticky lie. Played it well back in her stance.
Oh, that's getting away from her.
Yeah, a little bit of a jumper out of that lie.
That one to save par. Go over to the other side of the course. Marina Alex has this for a birdie at the 5th hole. Get it to 2 under for the day. It just sneaks away.
Yeah, talk about your subtle moves on the green. It looked like it was in the heart, and then all of a sudden it wasn't.
Her godfather is her putting coach. Maybe he's the godfather of putting.
18. Karen could use him right now. This for bogey. And trouble off the tee, and then eventually makes bogey here. And tough day for her after 1 under 71 yesterday, but great to see her out here and very competitive yesterday. As you said, still hits it long enough to play.
Yeah, if she wanted to work at the game again, she could play the tour again, but she chooses not to do that.
And she's pretty good at her day job too. So
she is pretty good at this television thing. Works for the Golf Channel, does a thing or two for the BBC over in Britain, and
will always be synonymous with Sunningdale and that win.
Yep.
And that start.
Anna Nordqvist, second at 17. Played Sunningdale a month or so ago, and when you walk down the first 2 holes, you just can't help but think about her 3-2 start, 2 par 5s, 3-2. I didn't go 3-2, just for the record. 5-5.
2-2.
Yeah. Now Minjee is taking a long look at this one, Jerry.
Yeah, she is. It's just this green breaks so very little. I'm 0 for 8 years on reading it properly, so we'll just go with hers. A little shell-shocked, I'm sure, after that last hole. 3-putt from the fringe.
Minjee, the winner at the Volvic Championship. It's the end of May. And she was in contention at the Aberdeen Standard Investments Ladies Scottish Open at Gullen, finished second behind Ariya Jutanagan. It's been a pretty good year. I mean, she also was second, lost in the playoff at Lake Merced, which has its similarities to here slightly with those big towering trees, although there's a lot more undulation on the property at Lake Merced. She lost in the playoff at Lydia Ko. Ko hit that incredible 3-wood, made eagle. Now Lincecum for par.
Could be dropping just a little bit right, just a little.
That's well done.
Well, the greens have picked up speed. I mean, players really look as though they are putting rather tenderly.
Pernilla Lindberg has this lengthy one, but for birdie at 16K.
Judy, I agree with you with the greens, and I think it's a combo of the breeze that we've talked about that's ever increasing, and just no humidity out here. And they're getting to that point where you just, you know, you can get a little cautious and you can get a little intimidated, and you have to just keep thinking, you know, be confident about your speed issues.
Yeah, well, they're not lightning fast, but
No.
I think they're taking players by a little bit of surprise.
And the minute you run one by 5 or 6 feet, that kind of shocks you. Pernilla was sure the queen of the greens at the ANA.
Cubs fans everywhere. Canada last week, Portland this week. They're everywhere.
And they have a catchy tune, don't they?
Win a championship, you got to have a tune. Kaufman for birdie here at 12, the par 5. You should pick one up there. Bit of a rough start, though, huh? That double at 5.
Yeah, very rough start.
Texas Tech got a big game tomorrow?
Texas Tech has a big game tomorrow. Ole Miss.
I think
Start of the season.
I know someone who will be watching besides Kim Coughlin. 16 Georgia Hall. This is get it to 15 under. The record 36 hole total in this event here, 12 under. So she's passed that already.
Well, after making that 48-footer on the last hole, anything's possible. This is a mere 30-footer.
She might.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
no,
my goodness.
You can't do that again.
Well, you saw a lot of this when she won the British.
You know, there's nothing wrong with really liking a golf course. And her words were this golf course, when the first time she saw it was, this course is amazing.
Amazing stat winning the Rico Women's British Open. An amazing run now with 5 in a row. Back at the 6th, Marina Alex 2nd.
Grip down just a little bit on something into this green. Little abbreviated through swing. Classy shot.
Wailing Shi with an even closer approach there, but well done from Alex, who got to remind herself, even though it hasn't been a great day, she's still sharing 2nd. But Judy, I don't know if anybody can feel like they have a chance when Georgia Hall's making putts like she has the last couple of holes.
Well, let's see if she can keep it going here on the tee at the 17th.
And this is an intimidating tee shot. Just because you know if you push it or pull it, you're going to have some trouble getting to the green in regulation.
Just not comfortable there or something.
Left center would be ideal. Bunker to the left.
Oh, that's a gorgeous, that's right what you called up there, Judy, left center.
Minjee Lee on the tee at 16.
6 iron, same club. Both her fellow competitors hit. Both hit pretty nice looking shots. This has a great line.
Beauty.
Yeah, better than good there. Tricky little hole with a hole location.
On the green at the 17th, Anna Nordquist has this for birdie to get to 8 under.
Pretty good slope from the left. Ooh.
Yeah, this green is probably the most undulating on the course. Over the weekend, they probably will tuck the flag towards the back right.
Well, Tom, David Flaherty is joined by 6-time PGA Tour winner Jimmy Walker as they discuss life on and off the golf course. 1 under today for Jimmy Walker, by the way, in Boston, TPC Boston. All new Flaherty, Monday at 9 Eastern on Golf Channel. Cute, yes, I guess. Don't want to get too close, though. Natural habitat here.
Really fun to see, though.
Yeah. It's a pretty good scene. I mean, this golf course is not directly on the river, but the Columbia is right across the street, and there's some trees in between. But what a beautiful setting.
It is. And while Marina looks at this putt, don't laugh. I read a little 121-page thing flying here about the Lewis and Clark expedition.
Yes.
Because it was just interesting with this part of the country.
Oh, no, there was a great book out a few years ago about Lewis and Clark and what. Imagine, encountering all this for the first time.
Yeah, well, this was mostly from their diaries, and it was a very short book. But you look up that river, and it's it certainly grabs you.
Did it help you get ready for the broadcast?
No, but
Put you in the mood to be in the Pacific
put
Northwest.
me in the mood to be here. That's right.
Alex putt on the way.
I tell you, it is late in the day, and if you haven't noticed, putts are rolling so smooth.
Yeah.
There is not a bump on these greens. They are in ideal condition.
And Poena greens. So how many times
Yeah.
do we say, well, late in the day it's going to get bumpy, they're growing? And I mean, these are beautifully conditioned. Back at 16, Amy Yang taking a look at this.
Waiting for a little traffic to clear by as the galleries and players walk past from the 17th tee down the fairway. Very close. One of the really intimate things about this course is it's an easy walk. Everything. It's just old style country club. From green to tee is very close.
It would be awfully nice to be a member here and experience this place as often as you can.
Oh, goodness. And Judy was talking about these greens being so smooth. The superintendent here, Gordon Kiyakawa, could teach anybody a lesson about how to take care of Poena properly. He's actually the guy that most of the other superintendents in the area call when they're having problems.
And he's been here a long time, hasn't he, Jerry?
Why would you leave? This place is heaven.
Yeah, if you want a little low-key country club that has a great staff and a beautiful golf course, this is a good model.
Pretty good combo.
A lot of really good players here, too. And Judy, just because it's interesting to me and appropriate, I think, hosting the LPGA here, the ladies' locker room here is plenty big enough to handle the entire LPGA tournament. And a lot of times you go to a club and that's not the case. They take over the men's for the week just for the extra room. There's a very active female membership here as well, and that's and they totally embrace this tournament. Always have.
Pretty good roll from Brittany. She had to put the ball way back in her stance and get the club up a little bit quickly. Didn't give it any chance to go in, but safe. Jerry, I know that that's true. They have a really large group of women who play golf here. It's just an extremely inviting place. Players come back every year. I come back just about every year. Tom comes every year.
Eileen She for birdie at 6. Really trying to fight her way to the weekend with the putting woes that she had. She had 3 holes in a row where she had a total of 10 putts.
If you don't think this game can play with your mind, it certainly can, and how tough you are when it all goes wrong and you can come back from it.
16, Minjee Lee for birdie. Yep.
Nice catch, but it's in the bottom.
We've seen that from her before too. A couple of holes to go at 14, but she's going to share a second. Nordquist. Sorry for that. Microphone picked up. And a long way from the hole. 17.
Ji Chun second.
Drove it on the very right-hand side of this fairway, and there's a tree in front of her to the right that has a limb she has to negotiate, so she decided to go under it with a 6-iron. Pretty smart shot right there.
Yeah, a little unlucky that ran all the way through.
Yeah, she struck it very well.
I think that might be a story that will continue to be told over the weekend. Players are struggling to get the ball close and get the ball to stop on these greens, but I think it's a good challenge. It's pretty fun to watch, and it hasn't been an issue for Georgia Hall, Kay.
No, it helps when you drive it from just the ideal spot and are able to come in with a, well, that looked like an 8-iron, maybe a 7, and stop it like that.
Yeah. But she's never held a first round, a second round, or a third round lead or co-lead on the LPGA Tour. She came from behind to win at the Women's British Open. I think she's going to hold a second round lead here unless something goes disastrously wrong, which it doesn't look like it's going to do. She's given herself a putt to get to 16 under and 10 under for the day.
Today's coverage is brought to you by Cambia Health Solutions, by Volvic Vivid, the world's best-selling matte finish golf balls, Volunteers of America, helping America's most vulnerable, and by Prudential, official financial services provider of the LPGA.
Can we?
Yeah, I think
I'm driving and I'm not drinking, so whoever wants it.
I'm not going with you. Michael, in the parking lot.
This is the 17th tee in the second round of the Cambia Portland Classic, and Minjee Lee.
Looks like driver. Not everybody hits driver here. Brings that left fairway bunker into play distance-wise, but that's not a problem here.
Well, Minjee can move it out there. Didn't get a huge amount of run on that one.
Didn't find a divot, did it?
Well, she's already had a bit of divot trouble today.
Let me just point out one great thing about Minjee Lee's swing, and it's a really good golf swing, but just focus on her right knee. Just watch this swing in completion and focus on her right knee. You're told to keep your right knee stable, but this is the most stable right knee I have ever seen in the game. And she starts her downswing by getting back to her left side and her hips. It's just kind of like the right knee works perfectly. The right heel comes up off the ground at exactly the right time. It is beautifully balanced and extremely consistent. I don't see it change much from one day to the next.
Inji Chun having some problems here, Kate. This is her fourth shot.
Yeah, she had trouble on the last hole. Made a long putt for a bogey save. Here, she hit her approach shot. We saw her hit that nice approach. Went through the green, she chipped it, and it rolled off the front of the green. So this now for a par.
Gotta be careful, it might be trunk slamming.
DTR, we call it. Down the road.
Yeah. Well, you're close to the airport here, so you can make a quick getaway, but it's not really what you want on a Friday. Georgia Hall's not worried about that.
Well, NG is all about the majors anyway, so it's getting ready for Evian.
Taking her time here.
Yeah. I guess she probably is a little bit shell-shocked because just 35 minutes ago she was 2 under par, and now she's looking like she's going to become even par.
Well, the cut looks like it's going to be 1 under. 78 players, if things finish the way they are right now, playing the weekend, which is not too bad. Anything in the high 70s into the 80s gives the rules officials a bit of a headache to get everybody around in time.
Yeah, this group, suddenly NG is slowed down because she's been playing extra shots and kind of taking a little extra time, and Pernilla is slowed down. The only one that's playing quickly and efficiently is Georgia.
Well, that just jumped right off the face.
Oh goodness.
She's not in for a 5.
And this could be the end of NG for this week. Pernilla hit it in the right bunker and has an upcoming par putt herself.
Meanwhile, Georgia Hall, well positioned after that approach, has another chance for birdie here. Just adding more and more on this back 9. And check out our Up to the Challenge presented by Prudential. It is the winner of the Rico Women's British Open this year at Lytham. This for birdie at the 12th to get it to 11 under, Judy. But just starting things.
Yeah, the putter was just heating up.
I mean, these are significant putts that she's rolling in. But stay with us if you weren't here.
Maybe some more significant ones coming.
Yeah.
How about this? Maybe 40 feet?
Yeah, about. And wasn't done yet. 16 for birdie.
Maybe close to 30 feet?
You're starting to believe that it's just, there's a magnet in that hole and the ball can't miss. Start to believe that as a player. Up to the challenge from Prudential. Another one?
This from 20 feet?
Oh, it's too short.
Maybe she was iced there a little bit, too long a wait. Quite a while to think about that putt. 9 under, 1 to play. Leading by 4.
I thought iced was kind of an American term. Is that a term in sports in Britain also?
No. It's difficult to ice in the UK because we don't have timeouts.
Okay.
He's Americanized, though.
Is there any ice in Britain?
Oh, that's low. Oh. Nordquist at 18 for par. Yep. No response? Apparently not.
I don't know if I got it. Are we talking about wintertime?
No, in drinks.
Oh, now I've got it. Yes, sorry. I was a bit lost there.
You have to explain them. 17.
Yeah, I've got the recipe if you need it. McDonald now from off the green at 17. Yes.
Great. Apparently, when I miss one of the jokes, you know, that's contagious around here.
Yeah, sometimes we do lack ice in drinks. I do have to admit that. It's a pretty poor show on that front in the UK.
Hardcover, hard copy.
OSU. Oregon State plays Ohio State this weekend. Oh, so OSU versus OSU, Jude. Get it? Apparently not. That's enough. That's enough for anything close to humor.
I know
today.
all of you that are viewing this are a lot quicker and smarter than some of us.
Minji's second at 17. Good shot.
Oh, really good.
Got it just inside of where Brittany Linscomb played a nice wedge too.
Georgia Hall, final hole today. What a round it's been.
Oh, and she just practically skipped her way up to this tee. Couldn't wait to hit it. And is a beauty.
Right on the edge. Yep, didn't settle in there, so it should be just fine. Right off the fairway. Reminder, the DAP Championship coming your way.